Hello, my name is Brenna Vega, and I'm going to be discussing my Business 104 project that I made with Jordan, Aaron, and Brendan. For this project, we had the opportunity to choose if we wanted to do an export or an import of an item, and then we also had the luxury of picking where we wanted that item to go. Our item of choice was fish, and the country we decided to use was Norway. The reason we picked Norway was because Aaron had family from there, so he was kind of familiar with the culture. Therefore, we assumed it would be a lot easier to obtain any information we might need. The name for our business is New Look Salmon. The reason we chose this name was because we wanted something that was modern, simple, and really easy to remember. Our goal is to supply sustainable, high-quality, native-born Norwegian salmon to the United States. Our salmon is farm-raised and cared for by numerous fish providers, and we as a company strive for sustainability, low prices, and on-time delivery, as well as the highest quality of Norwegian salmon on the market. Since we will be doing business out of Norway, we wanted to be able to have an accessible and easy way to just obtain the fish. So we decided to use the capital of Norway, Oslo, just because it's so well populated. We knew that there would be a lot of places and businesses that already provided fish, so we chose there. It's going to be exported from Oslo, Norway, as I stated, to the east coast of the United States. These boats are going to be equipped with cooling containers to keep the fish at a temperature cold enough to ensure peak quality throughout the shipping process. We're happy to sell to anyone around the world. Since we're a new company, we're open to anybody. We have no restrictions on future customers. But as stated before, our shipments will be going to the east coast of the United States. So our first main clientele focus will be the east coast of the US. Since the salmon is going to be of such great quality, we decided to aim our target audience at high-end hotels as well as high-end restaurants, with hopes of just being able to reach more in big businesses that way. Having this targeted audience, we know that they're going to be making a lot of large orders much more frequently, which will ultimately increase our sales as well as our revenue. Receiving and processing these large orders can be difficult at times, so we want to assure our customers that us as business owners are going to do everything we can and assure that we're going to go above and beyond to make sure the fish will be sent safely and efficiently.
So the fish are going to be stored in 55-gallon sized containers. These are going to be large enough that we can fit enough product from our two suppliers that I'm going to mention in a minute here. And we're going to be able to store them into larger shipping containers, the 40-foot long containers we're going to be putting on boats. And these containers are going to be freezers. They can't be regular ones. The fish have to stay frozen to ensure high quality Norwegian salmon. And they're going to be supplied to us by Connex West. This website manufactures a large number of different shipping containers, and they specialize in these freezing containers. Now these are state-of-the-art. They are equipped to deal with backup with a generator, and they're able to, they don't draw very much power, and they are going to be very cost efficient in the long run to purchase these upfront right when the business is started up. Now, so our suppliers for the fish are going to be coming from two different companies, one called VMCO and the other called Orfursery. Now, we decided to go with these two companies because they have a long-standing history of very excellent care for the salmon and very excellent quality salmon itself. Both of these are raising farm-bred salmon. We decided to go with that because we want this to be sustainable. We would like our entire operation here to be able to be long-term and to not be affected by things like fishermen and by the weather. Things of that nature do not affect the salmon on these farm-bred companies. And so because of that, we can always ensure a very high quality salmon. They're being fed every day. They're not being hunted by other animals. Overall, it's just going to ensure a much higher quality salmon in the end here. So the price of the fish is going to be based off of the NASDAQ Salmon Index. And this is going to give us a rough estimate of what salmon is going for. So for customers and investors, they're going to get a rough estimate of what it could possibly be bought for if it wasn't the Norwegian salmon. So we know that the price is going to be slightly higher on average because of the higher quality salmon. We're asking for very specific weights. And overall, it's going to drive the price up a little bit. But I think that our customers and investors understand that, and that's what they're signing up for. They're signing up for higher quality salmon at a increased price. So we came up with a price here. On average, this last year, the price of the fish was about $4.67 per kilogram across every single weight of the fish. So they can range between under 1 kilogram to 9+ kilograms. And some of the smaller fish are used for oils and things, which we are not currently looking into. So the prices are a little bit different based on what their needs are. So we're looking between the 4 and 9 and higher range. So it does encapsulate a lot of the different weights, but it isn't every weight class. The ones around the center are a little bit higher because that is where the demand is for the 4, 5, 6 kilogram fish. But that's okay. We're going to be purchasing based off of what we're going to be able to get a good deal for our customer.
Hi, my name is Brendan Sanders, and for my part of the project, I will be reporting on the regulations and laws that have to do with Norwegian exports. So, in the first part, in order to export any good out of Norway, you have to declare your goods through the Norwegian customs. The first and most important part of that is getting everything in line with the Norwegian Seafood Council, and they are in charge of all the things that have to do with exporting and importing any kind of seafood or fish products that are going in and out of the country. The most common way that people import and export goods, mostly exportation, is through TVINN or tvin. It's a Norwegian word. So tvin is an electronic custom system that is used for all kinds of exportation. It is used to help lower the cost of declaration of goods when you're exporting things. What it does is once a company or an industry has been approved of registration through TVIN, you get sent a registration number, and that goes along with all of your goods. And so once you start to export things, it will automatically check through that registration number that everything goes through, and this complies with their main standards and codes, like the ISO 128 standard. So then once going through TVINN, there are possible cases that there are just random safeguard checks to make sure that everything is going well through that process and that nothing's being cheated on or lied on in the declaration. Manual processing can also be done if there's a failed attempt because it is electronic and sometimes that can fail. So it could be a manual check through that also. And then Finally, when exporting things, there's also payments that have to be done. Like there is a 0.6% tax for the FF105 goods group, and this is specifically the tax for salmon. There are different taxes for different groups of seafood, but this is the one specifically for salmon for our group. And then this also qualifies through the tariff that is used for exportation of seafood. It's for the tariffs 03.01 all the way through 03.05. And for the actual tax amount, so you have to use the FF105 code when you're declaring it, and then you have to also put the base rate of the tax, which is the 0.6%, and then you also have to do the rate of fish that you have and the amount that you also have. And then finally, there is an annual fee that goes to the Norwegian Seafood Council, and that is $15,000 of Norwegian krone. And so that will basically, when you apply to register for any kind of exportation of any seafood, this is the basically council that you have to go through in order to do all of that. So once you pay that fee, you will be a part of the Norwegian Seafood Council, and you will be free to export and import fish as long as you are paying that annual fee, and everything will be good to export from Norway to another country. And it can also be done through a third country, perhaps sending it from Norway just to like another sister country like Sweden, and then from there to the United States. And so for that, of course, it is always up to the company itself on who they want to transport the fish, a certain company or shipping vessel, and how they do it. If it's going to be plane, boat. For our company, we're doing boat though.
Hello, I'm Aaron Holt, and I'll be finishing up this presentation. Importing into the U.S. U.S. imports are regulated through the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP. Imports can be sent through a broker who acts on behalf of the company to navigate customs and distribution. Importers must choose a port of entry depending on the chosen market for the product, and can file for immediate delivery to accelerate the customs process before the arrival. In this case, for immediate delivery for something like a fish or other perishable food product, the importer can contact the port of entry, such as on the East Coast, Albany in New York, and go through a broker in order to make sure that the product gets through much quicker. Seafood does not require a license to import, but is regulated in the U.S. through the FDA and must meet the safety requirements set by the FDA to be accepted. This is through the FDA's Imported Seafood Safety Program. Seafood must be inspected for decomposition or contamination, if not already certified and verified by the FDA through foreign food import partners, foreign inspections, and foreign country assessments. And this would occur in Norway at the farm. All imports into the U.S. must include a full manifest, immediate delivery forms, or other release forms upon arrival, evidence of right to make entry, commercial or pro forma invoice if commercial invoice is not available, packing lists if required, including the item in each container, evidence of a bond posted to the CBP to pay for taxes and fees, and more depending on the product. Fish in particular must be labeled with country of origin and fat content. All information about U.S. imports was taken from the FDA.gov and CBP.gov. In conclusion, our company, New Look Salmon, is exporting frozen salmon purchased from suppliers Vemco and Orfursi in Norway to the east coast of the U.S. The fish will be shipped frozen in containers by boat in state-of-the-art freezing technology and sold at an average price of $4.67 per pound as the average price of salmon on NASDAQ, and marketed as premium Norwegian salmon. And that's it. Thank you.